Okay, so let's have a seat and you can sit up on your blanket to raise your hips up a bit and just close your eyes and turn your attention inside. So before you shift your position or anything, just observe yourself inwardly. Notice the position of your body. Notice any sensations coming up for you physically, any thoughts, any feelings. And welcome it all. Just know that it's all part of the human experience and nothing is permanent. And just observe for a few breaths, kind of stepping back in your awareness as if you're watching a movie, watching yourself. And take a few deep breaths, just letting your breath move naturally in and out, filling and emptying the lungs. And then notice your posture and see if you can bring your head up a little, drop your shoulders, broaden your shoulders, and take a few more breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And start counting your breath and go ahead and just count 5 breaths, 5 inhales, and 5 exhales. So throughout this practice today, I want you to anchor yourself to your breath. So just keep coming back to awareness of the breath to remain present in your body and in the present moment. We're going to lift the heart center, pull the shoulders back, drop your chin to your chest, and just let the back of your neck relax. Stay aware of the breath. And then drop your head back and forward, chin to chest, and back. Forward and back. And lift your head and take your right ear, your right shoulder, and left ear, or the left shoulder. And now circle your head slowly. And go the other way slowly. And bring it to the center. And now we're going to circle the torso from the waist. You can make big or small circles, whatever feels good. And then go the other way. Circle. And back to center and round your back to the chest. And then arch your back, shoulders and head back. And we're going to keep going back and forth between those two. And then sit up straight, arms overhead, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up, and just bring the arms alongside your ears. Stretch. Bend to your right, bring your left arm over. Stretch both sides of your torso. And go to the left. Right arm over, stretching both sides of the torso. And again to the right. And again to the left. And to the center, interlace your fingers. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. And twist to the right, looking over your shoulder. Back to center. And we're going to stand up. So just stand with your feet slightly wider than your hips and your toes turned slightly out. Hands on your waist, and we're going to circle the hips. And then go the other way. Circle. And now go forward and back. And then side to side. Arms down and twist, letting your arms swing. And back to center. We're going to bring the right arm up and to the left. Come up. Left arm up and to the right. And up. Take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, palms together, and bend back. And bend forward, lifting your hands up over your back. Allow your upper body to lengthen, your head to go towards your feet. Release your arms down towards the floor, and again, just hang. Let your upper body hang. Feel the backs of the legs stretching. Inhale, let the legs lengthen. Exhale, let your head go closer to the floor. And go ahead and come up. And again, we're just going to circle the hips. And the other way, circle the hips. And hands by your sides and twist again. Now as you twist to one side, raise your opposite heel. Back to center, and let's circle the shoulders a few times. And then go the other way. All right, we're going to lay down on the front of the body. So I want you to take a blanket and roll it up. So you want to be, you want to have a roll that's about the length of your torso. It's okay if it's a little bit longer. And you're just going to lay down on top of that. So you want to center it underneath your body, and you're going to rest your forehead on your hands. So one hand on top of the other, and then big toes together and heels out. And You're going to feel some compression here, your abdomen against your blanket, and that's good. We want to feel that compression. So you're just going to breathe and allow the belly to press against the blanket as you breathe. And if you feel that the blanket is uncomfortably pushing in anywhere, you can adjust your position. If it's a longer blanket, you might need to like flatten one end if it's uncomfortable, but we want to get that compression on the soft tissue on the belly. Take a few more breaths. And then we're going to come off that blanket and just come into a child's pose. And you can rest your forehead on your blanket. And having something cushioning under the forehead just allows the body to relax more. It sends a signal to let go. So we'll take a few more breaths. And now remove the blanket and just lay down on the front of your body and rest your forehead on your hand. Take deep breaths. Now bend your knees and rock your feet side to side, letting your hips roll. And lower your legs, and we're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So let's bring the elbows under the shoulders, forearms and hands flat, and press into your hands and forearms. Relax your lower back. And take some deep breaths. Turn to the right and take your right shoulder back toward your right hip. And then the left shoulder back towards the left hip. And back to center. We're going to press into the palms, raise the elbows. And again, rest your forehead on your hands and take a few deep breaths, allowing your belly again to press against the floor this time. So having compression against the abdomen is very calming and grounding. We're going to do a pose that has a little bit more pressure for the abdomen. And so I want you to come up to a kneeling position just for a moment. You're going to grab your blanket and we want to roll up the blanket, but this time to have an edge or to have a roll that's just about an inch or two big. So like for this blanket, I'm just rolling it twice. You want it pretty small. And what we're going to do is getting ready for, I know not everybody's comfortable kneeling for very long, so I'm going to show it from a standing kneeling position so you guys don't have to know that too long. All right, so we're going to take the blanket and it's going to go right across the hips, right where when you sit back, there will be a crease there. You want it right in that crease, and then you're going to come into child's pose. Okay, so the blanket is stuck between the thigh and the pelvis, and you should feel it pressing against your abdomen below your belly button. So if it feels like it's too much pressure, you can unroll it a little bit. If you don't feel any pressure or very little, you could roll it a little bit more. So take your time getting that set up. We're going to be here for a while, so don't worry. And once you're in the pose, you can just position your arms wherever you feel comfortable. So if you want to bend your elbows back or bring the arms forward, either one of those is fine. And then you're going to take deep breaths, and you want to feel the push of the belly against the blanket. So just breathe deep, feel that sensation. And just take a few more breaths. And we're gonna sit up and sit with your legs out straight. Just give yourself a minute. That's a very intense pose. So just give yourself a minute to sit and breathe. You can lean back on your hands or cross your legs. Take a few breaths. And we're going to do a forward fold. So if you only have one blanket, I don't know, it might not be enough, but you can see, it depends on your flexibility. So you could just fold up your blanket to make it like as high as you can. If you have other props, you could stack them up like anything that you have. You can also use your hands, like make fists with your hands. We want to have our forehead resting on the support. So it just depends on your flexibility, how high of a support you need. This can even be done under a chair, like putting your legs under the chair or a bed, and then put your head on the seat of the chair or on the bed. But you just want to have your head supported and your legs straight. And then as you're holding the pose, if you start to feel a release and you can lower your support, then go ahead and do that and just allow your head to go down as far as you can comfortably. So we're going to be holding this forward bend for a few breaths. And you just want to try to relax any areas where you're feeling tension coming up. Don't force the stretch. So if it feels really painful, you need to come up higher. You could also put something under your knees if needed, like a towel. We're just going to continue taking deep breaths. And go ahead and sit up. You're going to take your hands behind you and bend back and take a deep breath. And now sit up. And we're going to take the legs apart a little bit. And so making like a V shape with your legs, we're going to bend the left knee and put your left foot against your right thigh. I'm going to face you guys. Maybe you can see better. This light is so bright and it's making these lines. All right. We're going to put the props now on that leg, the straight leg, and you're going to fold forward and just rest on that leg. You can again use your hands. You need more height. You want to have the head be fully supported if possible. And again, just relax. So notice, where does the tension come up, and breathe into that area and allow those muscles to soften. And and especially using your exhale breath for the release. So sometimes when you do these poses, these deep stretching poses, um, there's trapped emotion in our bodies when we feel some emotion, or really when we don't feel an emotion, when we repress it, it can get trapped in different parts of our body. And that's one of the benefits of yoga, is that it releases that stuck emotion, which is really healing. But momentarily, when it's releasing, we can feel it again. So that's okay. It's actually good. Just if it comes up, just allow yourself to feel it without any judgment and let it go. And then it won't be limiting you anymore. So take a few more breaths. And let's sit up. Just sit for a moment. And we're going to switch sides. So we'll just bend the opposite leg. I'm going to move the props over to the other side. And again, you're folding forward and resting your forehead either on your hands or on your support. And this side may feel different. It may, especially because we just stretched the other side, it may be more flexible. Totally normal. Just, again, relax into it and take deep breath. Notice where you might be holding tension that you could let go, and try to just release it as you breathe out. And just take a few more breaths. And sit up. Take your hands behind you and bend back. Again, take deep breath. All right, we're going to do a back bend next. So again, you want to roll your blanket up to have something about the length of your spine. And it's okay if it's a little longer. So you're going to put that on your mat, in the middle of your mat, and then you're going to sit in front of it. Bring it right against the base of your spine, and then lay down. Put the blanket along your spine, and hands to your sides and palms up. And you can do the diamond pose with your legs, with your feet together, knees out, or you could straighten your legs, or you could do feet out, knees together. Any one of those options. And then you're going to just relax. So close your eyes, and again, let your breath flow. Rhythmic, deep breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Notice any areas in your body where you could soften. You can just scan, go from your head down to your feet and then back up to your head and notice and allow those areas to soften, to relax. Letting your belly rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. And let's just do a few more breaths. And then roll onto your side. You can bring your arm up under your head. Either side is fine. Just roll onto your side. And then come up to a seated position. And we're going to use the same rolled blanket. You can just leave it how it is. You're going to sit with your knees over to your right and the blanket against your right hip. Turn to face the blanket and you're going to lower your torso down, centering it on the blanket as much as possible. And then turn your head to face the same direction that your knees are going. And you can rest your head on your hands or just rest it on the blanket. And then breathe deep. Try to let go of any tension if it comes up. And push yourself up into a seated position. And we're just going to do the other side. So you're going to turn your knees over the other way. I'll just move this so I don't end up with my back to you guys. So you're going to put your knees to the left, put the blanket against your left hip, and then you're going to turn and face it and lower down, again, centering your torso, and the head can turn the direction that the knees are going. And just take deep breaths and allow the body to relax. And emphasizing that exhale, releasing more tension with every out breath. Just take a few more deep breaths, really relaxing, softening the muscles. And then go ahead and push yourself up again to seated position. And we're going to do another side position. This time, you're going to take your rolled blanket and you're going to put it in the middle of your mat horizontally. So it's across the center. And then you're going to lay down to the right side first. You're going to lay down on your right side with the blanket right under your waist. If you need to roll it, make the roll smaller, you can do that as well. And you're just going to bring your right arm up under your head. If you have another cushion or blanket, you could put that under the head as well. We're going to bring the right arm straight. And you can either bring the left hand on top of the right with your arms overhead, or you could just bring your left hand down on the floor in front of you. So either of those positions, whatever feels good. This hand over the top is a nice shoulder opener, but if you do it, just make sure that the shoulder, the upper shoulder, is open. It's not rolling forward. And then you're going to just rest in that position. Again, taking deep breaths. These side stretches are very good for detoxing the body. They open the channels of the lymph nodes so that our body can get rid of anything that's not needed anymore. And just take a few more deep breaths. Remember, this whole practice, we want to anchor in with the breath, just having awareness of the breath. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So we'll just flip over onto your left side. And the blanket underneath your left side waist. Left arm up overhead. You can bring the two palms together or put the right hand in front of you. And again, relax, take deep breaths. You're just going to allow that stretch to happen. So it's gentle and slow. Should feel comfortable in these poses. You know, maybe a little bit of stretch, but no pain for sure. You should feel relaxing. Just continue allowing your body to soften and allowing your breath to flow. Great. We're gonna come off of the little props. So just you can move your blanket off your mat and lie down on your back, corpse pose with your hands by your sides, and rest there for a few breaths. And then we're gonna take that blanket rolled up still and bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, lift your hips up, and take your blanket and slide it under the top of the pelvis, or like right the back of the waist. You want it, but you want to try to position it so that you can be seated or have your buttocks touching the floor. So there's the lift in the mid to lower back, like right around the waistline, but maybe a little bit higher. And then your hands by your sides, and you can put your feet together, knees out, or you could have straight legs, or you could do knees together, feet out, whatever feels best. Close your eyes and again, just relax, breathing in and out through your nose and letting go a little more with each out breath. And now go ahead and again, put your feet on the floor with your knees bent. Lift your hips up and slide the blanket out from underneath. And we're going to take that blanket and put it between the knees. And then take both knees over to your left. So it's a supine twist. The knees are together and to the left. Arms are up at shoulder height. You can either look up straight toward the ceiling or turn your head to the right or to the left, whatever feels good to you. If you go to the right, it's going to just deepen the twist. If you go to the left, it's going to be a little more gentle. And you can also assist if you want. You can take your left hand to your right thigh to pull gently on that leg if that feels good. And again, anchoring into the breath. So noticing your breath, the feeling of the air, the sound of the breath. Just put all of your attention, all of your five senses on your breath. Take a few more breaths. And then go ahead and switch sides. So you're going to bring the knees up and over to the right side and have your head the same way. So either looking away from the knees, same direction of the knees, or straight up. Just do the same thing that you did on the other side. And relax. Let your breath flow. Notice any areas where you can just soften and relax. It may not even be just the areas that are being stretched, but you could notice that maybe your abdomen, your facial muscles, just try to relax as many muscles as you can. And take a few more breaths and bring your knees up. And you can take the blanket out from between the knees. And we're going to finish up with corpse pose. So just laying flat on your back, legs straight, hands by your sides, palms up. You want to make sure that the body's symmetrical. So you want to have the right and left side same position or similar. And then just let go. Let your breath flow in your body. Relax. Now notice your breath, the feeling of the breath going in and out through the nose, filling your lungs completely and emptying them completely. Now place one hand on your heart center, the center of the chest, and one hand on the lower abdomen below the belly button. And feel the breath as you inhale, send the breath to the lower hand, feel the belly rising. And as you exhale, feel the belly falling. And just focus on that for a few breaths. And now move your attention to the hand that's on your heart. And you could either keep the hands as they are, or you could put both hands on your heart now if you like. And now as you breathe, I want you to visualize the breath going into the heart center. And on the exhale, coming out from the heart center. And again, take deep, full breath. And place your hands by your sides again. Breathe in and out through your nose. And gently move your toes, move your fingers. Rotate your ankles, rotate your wrists. And roll onto your side. And then just rest on your side for a moment. Come up to a seated position. And resting your hands on your legs, close your eyes. Bring your attention back inside and just notice your inner world, what's going on. Again, with no judgment, just observing. And take a few breaths. And rub your hands together. Rest your palms on your eyes. And massage your face. And massage your neck. And your shoulders. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
So
coming.
tomorrow at 9:30.